Queen of Light V1. The Rise of Shadows. In the mystical land of Etherra, the disappearance of the Queen of Light has plunged the world into turmoil. Her radiant power, once the source of harmony, is now scattered across the realm, coveted by 4 rival species. The cunning humans seek her light to rebuild their empires, while the wild Viking elves fight to preserve nature's balance. The primal monsters, born of shadow, aim to snuff out her legacy entirely, and the enigmatic wizards crave her essence to unlock forbidden magic. With Etherra on the brink of collapse, the battle for the Queen's Light has begun. The Queen of Light V1 NFT collection brings this epic saga to life, featuring heroes, villains, and legendary relics from each species. Each piece represents a unique part of the unfolding story, where alliances are forged, destinies are shaped, and the future of Etherra hangs in the balance. Will you fight to restore her lighter, let darkness reign supreme? Queen of Light V2. The battle for Etherra. In the radiant world of Etherra, light and shadow have waged an eternal war. At the heart of this struggle stands the Queen of Light, a legendary figure whose power is said to bring balance to the fractured land. But in this second age, her disappearance has plunged Etherra. Monsters, born of darkness, seek to extinguish the Queen's light and claim Etherra as their eternal dominion. Humans, ingenious and determined, fight to harness the Queen's lost power to rebuild their crumbling kingdoms. Viking and elves, fierce guardians of ancient forests, vow to protect the Queen's legacy and restore natural harmony. Wizards, masters of the arcane, seek the Queen's essence to unlock forbidden magic and ascend beyond mortality. The Queen of Light V2 NFT collection captures the epic struggle for Etherra's destiny. Each NFT reveals a unique hero, villain, or relic tied to this monumental conflict. Will you side with the fierce Viking elves, the cunning humans, the shadowed monsters, or the mystical wizards? Queen of Light V3. The Eternal Reckoning. As the fractured lands of Etherra descend further into chaos, whispers of an ancient prophecy begin to surface. A reckoning that will either restore balance or seal the world's fate. Eternal darkness. The scattered fragments of the Queen of Light's power have unleashed untold destruction, awakening forces older and darker than Etherra itself. The cunning humans, desperate for survival, forge dangerous alliances, while the Viking elves, protectors of nature, struggle against the encroaching corruption. Meanwhile, the primal monsters grow stronger in the shadow's embrace, and the wizards, blinded by ambition, risk unraveling the fabric of reality. The Queen of Light V3 NFT collection captures the climactic moments of this epic saga, unveiling new heroes, ancient enemies, and legendary relics tied to the final struggle for Etherra. Each piece holds a piece of the prophecy, as choices must be made and alliances tested. Will you guide Etherra to salvation, or let it succumb to the eternal reckoning?
High above the celestial tapestry of Etherra resided its eternal guardian, the Queen of Light. Her very essence pulsed with a radiance that banished shadows and nurtured life. Her heart, a beacon of warmth, resonated with the rhythm of every beating heart in Etherra, but a creeping dread gnawed at the Queen's serenity.
From the abyssal depths of the netherworld, a malevolent force stirred. I felt a tremor in the fabric of Etherra, a discordant note in the symphony of existence. This was no ordinary evil. This was an ancient terror, poised to engulf our world in eternal darkness.
The very air crackled with anticipation. The Queen knew what she had to do. She had stood as Etherra's shield for millennia, her resolve forged in the fires of countless battles against the Abyss. This time, the fate of her world rested on a knife's edge. Etherra needed a miracle. In the heart of Etherra's northernmost reaches, where icy winds howled and glaciers kissed the sky, lived a Viking warrior named Bjorn. His heart thrummed with the pulse of the wild, his spirit unconquerable, his axe arm ever ready.
By my side stood Astrid, a Nordic maiden whose courage rivaled any warrior's. Her eyes, as blue as the glacial fjords, burned with an unwavering resolve.
Word reached them of a slumbering evil, a Jötunn of immense power, awakened from its ancient slumber. Its eyes, burning embers of malice, saw nothing but destruction. Its icy heart craved only to see Etherra crumble and fall.
Fear is a foreign concept to our people. I will face this Jötunn, this harbinger of oblivion, head on.
We will stand as a bulwark against the encroaching darkness, our courage a beacon in the gathering storm. The fate of Etherra rests on our shoulders.
The Jötunn, a behemoth of ice and fury, carved a path of devastation across the frozen plains. Each earth-shuddering step cracked the very foundations of Etherra.
Roaring his battle cry, I charged, my axe singing a deadly song of steel.
I, a whirlwind of fury, danced around the Jötunn's lumbering attacks, my spear flashing like lightning.
From the shadowed forests emerged the Queen's elite guard, the Lumineth, their eyes burning with ethereal light. They were warriors of light, their very being.
Queen of Light, the eternal battle for Etherra, the rise of heroes. Etherra, a land once bathed in the celestial light of its queen, has fallen into chaos since her disappearance. Her essence, once the key to balance, is now the prize of a fierce war between humans, Viking elves, wizards, and monsters born of shadows. However, one last hope shines in the darkness. The queen has returned. At the forefront of the resistance, a towering Viking warrior clad in golden armor leads a host of humans and elves. His sword, gleaming with the queen's blessing, rises above his head as he lets out a battle cry. Beside him, a brave Nordic warrior maiden, dressed in an elegant white tunic with silver accents, a blend of armor and nobilitrides, into battle with a resolute gaze. Around them, elves channel light into enchanted arrows, while wizards chant ancient spells to fortify their defenses. The awakening of the monsters. From the cracks of the earth, amid dark stone ruins, emerge the creatures born of shadow. Their leader, a colossal monster with obsidian scales interwoven with veins of liquid gold and silver, advances with thunderous steps. Its fiery gaze locks onto the warriors of light, and with an infernal roar, it orders the attack. The monsters charge the allied army with inhuman ferocity. Humans and elves respond with a storm of arrows and steel, while wizards raise walls of fire and pure energy. The battle roars like an unleashed storm, the clash of magic and steel. Elves fire projectiles of pure light, piercing the shadowy flesh of the monsters, while Viking warriors engage in close combat with twisted creatures. Each sword strike resounds like thunder across the battlefield. Wizards summon storms of luminous energy, conjuring shields and explosions that send the shadows back into the abyss. But the darkness is relentless. And for every enemy defeated, more emerge from the depths of Etherra. The Queen's judgment. At the heart of the conflict, when all seems lost, a blinding light descends upon the battlefield. The Queen of Light appears, her radiant presence forcing both sides to pause. Her golden staff glows with celestial brilliance as she advances calmly. With a single gesture, she releases a wave of pure light that pushes back the dark forces, dispelling the shadow corrupting Etherra. The colossal monster lunges at her with a furious roar, but the Queen, with a whisper of divine power, traps it within a pillar of golden light. The beast writhes and howls before vanishing into nothingness. Without their leader, the remaining monsters flee the battlefield, unable to withstand the Queen's presence. The Rebirth of Etherra. With victory assured, the Queen extends her hand and restores light to the devastated lands. Nature flourishes once more, rivers flow again with crystal clear water, and cities rise from their ashes. Humans rebuild their kingdoms, elves protect the revitalized forests, and wizards, in an act of humility, seal away the dark knowledge they once coveted. The war is over. Etherra once again stands as a land of balance and peace. The Queen of Light, with a serene smile, watches over her restored kingdom, knowing that as long as light shines in the hearts of her people, darkness will never prevail.